I'm sitting in family court when I hear my 7-year-old son say the words that shatter my heart into a million pieces. Daddy left us and never came back. Jake's small voice echoes in the silent courtroom. He's sitting in the witness chair, looking tiny and scared, clutching a stuffed bear I gave him for his 6th birthday, back when I was still allowed to see him. My daughter Emma sits next to my wife Laura in the gallery, refusing to even look at me. The judge leans forward gently. "And how did that make you feel, Jake?" "Sad," my son whispers. "Mommy cries a lot because Daddy doesn't love us anymore." My throat closes up. I want to scream that I didn't leave, that she locked me out, that I've been fighting for 6 months to get back to them. But my lawyer's hand on my arm keeps me silent. "Not yet," he whispers. "Let her finish burying herself." Laura dabs her eyes with a tissue, playing the devastated single mother perfectly. Her lawyer stands. "Your Honor, as you can see, Mr. Peterson's abandonment has deeply traumatized these children." I grip the table edge until my knuckles turn white. The judge looks at me with disgust. But Laura has no idea what's in my briefcase. She thinks she's won. She's dead wrong. Laura takes the stand next, and I watch her transform into the perfect victim. She's wearing a simple dress, minimal makeup, looking exhausted and fragile. It's all an act, but she's convincing. "Mrs. Peterson," her lawyer begins softly, "can you tell us what happened 6 months ago?" Laura's voice trembles. "Michael just left. He went on a work trip and never came home. No explanation, no goodbye to the children. Just gone." I nearly choke. My lawyer scribbles notes furiously beside me. "Did he attempt to contact you?" the lawyer asks. "A few texts at first," Laura says, wiping her eyes. "But nothing meaningful. He stopped caring about us." The lie is so smooth, so practiced. I glance at the judge. He's completely buying it. "How have you managed financially?" her lawyer continues. "It's been impossible," Laura sobs. "He stopped contributing. I've been doing everything alone, working, caring for the children, paying all the bills." My hands ball into fists. Every word is poison. Every sentence is designed to destroy me. But I stay quiet, because in my briefcase, I have bank statements showing every payment I've made, every refused check, every blocked transaction. Let her talk. Let her lie. My turn is coming. The judge calls a brief recess. I step into the hallway, legs shaking. My lawyer, Patrick Green, pulls me aside. "She's good," he admits. "But we're better. Trust the process." "They think I'm a monster," I say, voice cracking. "My own kids think I abandoned them." Patrick's expression softens. "We'll fix this. But you need to hold it together for another hour." I nod, swallowing hard. Through the courtroom window, I see Laura talking to Emma and Jake. She's kneeling down, whispering something. Both kids nod seriously. More coaching, probably. 6 months ago, those were my happy children. Now they look at me like I'm a stranger. This started when I came home from a conference in Denver. 3 days away for work, like I'd done dozens of times before. But this time, when I got home, the locks were changed. Laura wouldn't let me in. Wouldn't explain why. Just handed me a bag of clothes through a cracked door and told me to leave. I thought it was temporary. A weird fight we'd work through. I had no idea she'd been planning this for months. No idea she'd turn my children against me. No idea she'd try to erase me completely. The recess ends. Patrick stands and the judge nods for us to proceed. "Your Honor, I'd like to call Michael Peterson to the stand." I walk forward on unsteady legs. The court officer swears me in. My hand shakes as I place it on the Bible. From the witness chair, I can see everything. Laura's smug expression. Emma's confused face. Jake's hurt eyes. The judge's skeptical frown. Patrick starts gently. "Michael, did you abandon your family 6 months ago?" "No, sir. I never abandoned them." "Can you explain what happened?" I take a breath. I went to Denver for a work conference. 3 days, April 15th through 17th. When I returned home on April 18th, my house key didn't work. Laura had changed the locks. Laura's lawyer objects. Speculation. He has no proof. I have the locksmith receipt, Patrick interrupts, holding up a document. Dated April 16th. While Mr. Peterson was in Denver. The judge examines it. His expression shifts slightly. Patrick continues. What happened after you discovered the locks were changed? Laura spoke to me through the door. She said I needed to give her space. She handed me one bag of clothes. That's all. Did you leave willingly? No. I had nowhere else to go. I slept in my car that night. Patrick pulls out his phone and projects images onto the courtroom screen. They're screenshots of text messages. Are these your texts to Laura after she locked you out? I nod. Yes. I sent dozens of messages asking what was wrong, begging to see the kids. The messages scroll across the screen. Laura, please talk to me. What's happening? I just want to see Emma and Jake. Please. Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Let's fix this. I love you. I love our family. Please respond. Every message marked read, but never answered. How many texts did you send that first week? Patrick asks. Over 100. And how many did Laura respond to? 0. Patrick lets that sink in. The judge is reading the messages carefully now. Did you attempt other forms of contact? I called constantly. Left voicemails. Sent emails. I went to the house multiple times, but she wouldn't open the door. On the 4th day, she filed a restraining order. Laura's lawyer jumps up. Because he was harassing her. Order, the judge says quietly. But he's looking at Laura now, not me. Patrick hands me another document. Is this the restraining order application? Yes. What reason did Laura give for needing protection? My voice drops. She claimed I was emotionally abusive and threatening. None of it was true. Patrick pulls out more evidence. Security footage from my office building showing me at work during times Laura claimed I was threatening her at home. Credit card receipts proving I was in different cities when she said I was harassing her. Mr. Peterson, did you ever harm your wife? Never. Threaten her? Never. Abandon your children? My voice cracks. Never. I've been fighting to see them every single day for 6 months. Patrick shows phone records next. Hundreds of outgoing calls to Laura. All declined or ignored. Then bank statements. Monthly deposits into our joint account, mortgage payments, utility bills, child support. Every single one rejected or returned by Laura. Why would she return child support payments? The judge asks, confused. Patrick answers. Because accepting them would contradict her narrative that Mr. Peterson abandoned his family, Your Honor. The courtroom goes silent. I see Laura's face pale slightly. Patrick continues relentlessly. Mr. Peterson, were you granted visitation rights? Yes, supervised visits. 1 hour, twice a week. How many of those visits actually happened? In 6 months? Maybe 20. Laura canceled most of them. Said the kids were sick, or had other plans, or didn't want to see me. I look at Emma and Jake. Emma's face shows confusion now. Like something doesn't add up in her head. Patrick shifts topics. Let's discuss finances. Mrs. Peterson testified that you stopped contributing financially. Is that accurate? No. I've paid every bill, every month. I have bank statements showing automatic payments for the mortgage, utilities, insurance, and a monthly deposit for child expenses. How much have you paid in 6 months? Approximately $43,000. Gasps ripple through the courtroom. Laura's lawyer stands but doesn't know what to object to. Patrick displays the bank records on screen. Every payment highlighted. Every deposit stamped returned or rejected. Why would Mrs. Peterson return these payments? I don't know, I answer honestly. My lawyer had to file a court order forcing her to accept the mortgage payments so the house wouldn't foreclose. The judge leans forward. Mrs. Peterson, is this accurate? Laura stammers. Those payments were irregular. I couldn't rely on them. Patrick immediately shows the bank records again. Your Honor, every payment was made on the same day each month. Automatic withdrawals. Nothing irregular about them. Laura's lawyer whispers frantically to her. She's starting to panic. Patrick turns back to me. Did you attempt to see your children outside of scheduled visits?
Yes.
I went to Jake's school soccer games. Emma's dance recital. But Laura told the school I was dangerous. Security removed me. Do you have witnesses to these incidents?
Yes.
Other parents. Teachers. I have their statements. Patrick pulls out a thick folder. I'd like to submit testimony from 14 witnesses. Parents at the school, teachers, neighbors, co-workers. All stating that Michael Peterson is a devoted father who's been systematically prevented from seeing his children. He hands copies to the judge and Laura's lawyer. As the judge reads, his frown deepens. One statement is from Emma's teacher, Mrs. Patricia Holmes. Michael attended every parent-teacher conference until 6 months ago. He was always engaged, supportive, and loving. When I asked Emma where her father was, she said, "Mommy says he left because we weren't good enough." That concerned me greatly. Another from Jake's soccer coach, Tony Ramirez. Michael never missed a game until this year. When he tried to attend in May, Mrs. Peterson caused a scene and had him removed. The kids were visibly upset. Jake cried for an hour. The judge looks at Laura. Mrs. Peterson, did you tell the children their father left because they weren't good enough? Laura's face flushes. That's taken out of context. Please provide the context. She can't. She sits there, mouth opening and closing, caught in her lie. Patrick continues. Mr. Peterson, did you know your wife was involved with another man? Laura's lawyer explodes. Objection. Irrelevant. It's directly relevant to motive, Your Honor. The judge nods slowly. I'll allow it. Patrick pulls out photographs. My stomach clenches even though I've seen them before. Laura with a man named Ryan Collins. Kissing outside a restaurant. Holding hands at a park. The man playing with Emma and Jake in our backyard. My backyard. Who is this man? Patrick asks. Ryan Collins. Laura's co-worker. When did their relationship begin? Based on these photos, at least 4 months before she locked me out. The timestamps on the photos prove it. January, February, March. All before April 18th when everything fell apart. Patrick displays more photos. Ryan's car in our driveway overnight. Ryan carrying groceries into my house. Ryan at Jake's birthday party in May, cutting the cake while I wasn't even allowed to call. Is Mr. Collins living in your home? He was. I'm not sure about currently. How do you know he was living there? A private investigator documented it. Ryan's mail was being delivered there. His car was there every night for weeks. Laura is shaking her head frantically, whispering to her lawyer. But the photos don't lie. Patrick shows one final image. It's from social media, Laura's account. A family photo, Laura, Ryan, Emma, and Jake at the beach. The caption reads, New beginnings with people who actually show up. The date, 3 months ago. Emma's face in the gallery crumbles. She's starting to understand. Your Honor, Mrs. Peterson testified under oath that she's been alone, struggling to manage without support. These photos prove she's been living with her boyfriend, playing house with Mr. Peterson's children while systematically erasing him from their lives. Laura's lawyer stands. My client's personal life is her own business. Not when she's lying under oath about it, Patrick fires back. Not when she's used false allegations to obtain a restraining order. Not when she's committed parental alienation. The judge removes his glasses, rubbing his eyes. Mrs. Peterson, did you tell the children their father abandoned them? Laura's voice is small now. They asked where he was. I had to explain. Did you tell them he left because he didn't love them? Silence. Mrs. Peterson, answer the question. I may have said something like that, but... You told 7- and 9-year-old children that their father, who was desperately trying to contact them, didn't love them? Laura starts crying, but this time it looks different. Not performative. Panicked. Patrick continues. I'd like to call Dr. Helen Brooks, the court-appointed therapist. An older woman with kind eyes takes the stand. She's sworn in and Patrick begins. Dr. Brooks, you evaluated the Peterson family. What did you find? Clear evidence of parental alienation. The children displayed coached responses, used adult language, and showed inconsistencies in their narrative that suggest manipulation. Dr. Brooks continues, her voice calm but firm. Emma and Jake both used nearly identical phrases to describe their father's alleged abandonment. Phrases like, chosen his career over family, and emotionally unavailable. These aren't terms children would use naturally. Patrick nods. What else did you observe? During our sessions, whenever the children began to express positive memories of their father, they'd immediately correct themselves. Almost as if they'd been trained to suppress those feelings. I watch Emma in the gallery. She's crying now quietly. Jake looks confused. Dr. Brooks pulls out her notes. In one session, Jake said, I miss when Daddy would read me stories. Then he immediately said, but Mommy says I shouldn't miss someone who left me. The contradiction was heartbreaking. The judge's expression has completely changed. He's looking at Laura with something close to anger. In your professional opinion, did Mr. Peterson abandon these children? Absolutely not. Every piece of evidence suggests he's been fighting desperately to maintain contact. Mrs. Peterson has systematically blocked his access while coaching the children to reject him. What's your recommendation? Immediate reunification therapy. The children need to understand the truth. And frankly, Mrs. Peterson needs psychological evaluation. This level of alienation is abusive to the children. Laura's lawyer tries to object, but the judge waves him off. Patrick introduces his final witness. I'd like to call Andrew Foster, the guardian ad litem assigned to this case. A middle-aged man in a gray suit takes the stand. He's a retired family court judge, respected throughout the state. Mr. Foster, you investigated both households. What did you find? Foster opens a tablet, pulling up his report. Mr. Peterson lives in a modest two-bedroom apartment. Clean, organized, with bedrooms prepared for both children. Age-appropriate books, toys, everything needed for their care. He swipes to another page. Mrs. Peterson lives in the family home with Mr. Ryan Collins, despite her sworn statements that she lives alone. I conducted a surprise visit and found Mr. Collins there at 7 in the morning, clearly having spent the night. Laura's face goes bright red. Her lawyer looks ready to sink through the floor. What concerns did you identify? Mrs. Peterson has isolated the children from their father, their paternal grandparents, family friends, anyone who might contradict her narrative. She's created a false reality where their father abandoned them, which is psychologically damaging. Your recommendation? Foster doesn't hesitate. Primary custody to Mr. Peterson, with supervised visitation for Mrs. Peterson pending completion of parenting classes and psychological treatment. The current situation is harmful to the children's well-being. The courtroom erupts in whispers. The judge bangs his gavel. Laura grabs her lawyer's arm, whispering frantically. He shakes his head. There's nothing he can do now. Patrick returns to me on the stand. Michael, one final question. If granted custody, what's your plan for helping your children heal? I look directly at Emma and Jake. I'd start therapy immediately. They've been told lies for 6 months, and they need help processing the truth. I'd reassure them every day that none of this was their fault. My voice breaks slightly. I'd read Jake his bedtime stories again. I'd take Emma to her dance classes. I'd rebuild what was stolen from us, one day at a time. Would you prevent them from seeing their mother? Never. Despite everything, she's their mom. They need both parents. But it has to be healthy contact, not manipulation. Patrick nods. No further questions. Laura's lawyer stands for cross-examination. He looks uncertain, but tries anyway. Mr. Peterson, isn't it true you work long hours? I work 40 hours a week. Same as most people. But you traveled for work frequently. 4 times a year, for conferences. Each trip was 3 days maximum. Laura always knew my schedule. The lawyer flips through his notes, searching for ammunition. You admit you weren't home every evening. I was home by 6 every night unless I was traveling. I coached Jake's soccer team. I volunteered at Emma's school. I was present. He's got nothing. After a few more weak questions, he gives up. The judge calls for closing arguments. Laura's lawyer goes first. He's trying to salvage something, but his heart isn't in it. Your Honor, Mrs. Peterson may have made mistakes in how she communicated with her children, but her intentions were to protect them. She believed Mr. Peterson had abandoned them based on his absence. Patrick stands immediately. He was absent because she locked him out and filed a false restraining order. You can't create a problem and then claim you were reacting to it. The judge nods agreement. Laura's lawyer continues weakly. She's been the primary caregiver for 6 months. Changing custody would disrupt the children's stability. Their stability? Patrick's voice rises. They've been told their father doesn't love them. They've been coached to reject him. That's not stability, that's abuse. The judge holds up a hand. I've heard enough. Mr. Green, your closing statement. Patrick stands, buttoning his suit jacket. His voice is steady and strong. Your Honor, this case is about a father who loved his children so much that he endured 6 months of false allegations, financial manipulation, and heartbreak rather than give up on them. Michael Peterson did everything right. He documented everything. He followed every legal process. He never gave up. Patrick gestures to the evidence covering the tables. Mrs. Peterson, meanwhile, committed perjury repeatedly. She filed false police reports. She manipulated her children. She stole money meant for their care. She introduced a boyfriend into their lives while claiming their father abandoned them. He pauses, letting it sink in. The evidence is overwhelming. Justice demands that these children be returned to their father immediately. The judge removes his glasses, cleaning them slowly. The courtroom is dead silent. I've been a family court judge for 19 years, he begins. I've seen many difficult cases. But this is one of the most clear-cut examples of parental alienation I've encountered. Laura starts sobbing. Not performing this time, genuine fear. Mrs. Peterson, you have lied repeatedly under oath. You filed false allegations to obtain a restraining order. You've manipulated your children, telling them their father abandoned them when he was desperately trying to see them. The judge's voice hardens. You've committed financial fraud by refusing legitimate child support. You've introduced a romantic partner into your children's lives while lying about living alone. Most seriously, you've caused significant psychological harm to Emma and Jake. He looks at me. Mr. Peterson, your patience and restraint are commendable. Many men would have given up. You didn't. Then back to Laura. Effective immediately, primary custody of Emma and Jake Peterson is awarded to their father, Michael Peterson. Emma gasps in the gallery. Jake looks around, confused. Mrs. Peterson will have supervised visitation only 2 hours per week, supervised by a court-appointed monitor. She is ordered to complete a parenting course, undergo psychological evaluation, and attend therapy focused on appropriate co-parenting. Laura's lawyer tries to speak, but the judge continues. Furthermore, Mrs. Peterson will repay all child support she fraudulently rejected, $43,000. She will also pay Mr. Peterson's legal fees. The judge isn't finished. I'm also referring this case to the prosecutor's office for potential criminal charges related to filing false police reports and perjury. Laura collapses in her chair, her lawyer supporting her. The restraining order is vacated immediately. Mr. Peterson may return to the family home tonight. Mrs. Peterson has 72 hours to remove herself and Mr. Collins from the premises. He looks at Emma and Jake. Children, I know this is confusing and scary, but your father never left you. He's been fighting to come home every single day. You'll understand more as you get older. The judge bangs his gavel. This court is adjourned. I sit there, unable to move. 6 months of hell, and it's finally over. Patrick grips my shoulder. You did it. They're coming home. I stand on shaky legs and turn toward my children. Emma is crying, staring at me with wide eyes. Jake clutches his bear, looking lost. I walk slowly toward them. Laura tries to pull them away, but the bailiff stops her. I kneel down to their level, same height, eye to eye. Emma, Jake, I know you're confused. I know Mommy told you I left. But I didn't. I've been trying to come home every single day. Emma's voice is tiny. You didn't leave us? Never. Not for 1 second. I love you both more than anything in the world. Jake drops his bear and runs into my arms. Emma hesitates, then follows. I hold them both, crying into their hair. We're going home, I whisper. Together. That evening, I stand in front of the house I haven't entered in 6 months. Emma and Jake are with me, each holding one of my hands. Patrick arranged for Laura to collect some belongings earlier. She and Ryan are staying in a hotel while they find an apartment. My key works now. Laura was forced to give me new ones. The door swings open and I step inside. Everything looks the same but different. Photos of Ryan are on the walls where my pictures used to be. Furniture has been rearranged. It smells different. Jake notices too. It looks weird. We'll fix it, I promise. Make it feel like home again. I take them upstairs. Their bedrooms are mostly the same. Emma's dance trophies still line her shelf. Jake's soccer posters still cover his walls. Can we sleep in our own beds tonight? Emma asks quietly. Absolutely. This is your home. I order pizza for dinner, their favorite. We eat in the living room, and slowly, they start to relax. Jake tells me about school. Emma shows me a new dance move she learned. They're still guarded, still processing. 6 months of poison doesn't disappear in one day. But we're together. That's what matters. At bedtime, I tuck Jake in first. He hugs his bear tight. Daddy, I'm sorry I said you left us. Hey, none of this is your fault. You were told things that weren't true. That's not on you, buddy. Will Mommy be okay? The question breaks my heart. Even after everything, he worries about her. Mommy will be fine. You'll still see her. But she needs to work on some things first. Okay. He yawns. Will you read me a story? I grab his favorite book, Fighting Tears. Every night if you want. Emma is harder. She sits on her bed, arms crossed, looking conflicted. You're mad at Mommy, she says. Not a question. I sit beside her carefully. I'm hurt by choices Mommy made. But you don't have to take sides, Emma. You can love both of us. She said you didn't want to be our dad anymore. That was a lie. I've always wanted to be your dad. Always. Emma's eyes fill with tears. Why would she lie? How do I explain this to a 9-year-old? I choose my words carefully. Sometimes adults make bad choices when they're scared or angry. Mommy was wrong to tell you those things. But you and Jake are the best parts of my life. I would never choose to leave you. Emma cries, then really cries. I hold her while she lets it out. Months of confusion, pain, and fear. I missed you, she finally whispers. I missed you every second. Every single second. Eventually, she falls asleep. I sit there in the dark, watching her breathe, still not quite believing this is real. My phone buzzes. A text from Laura. You turned my children against me. I stare at it in disbelief. Even now, she can't take responsibility. I don't respond. Patrick warned me to document everything but never engage. Instead, I text my parents. The kids are home. We're together. My mom's response is immediate. Thank God. We're praying for you all. Tomorrow, therapy starts. The real healing begins. But tonight, my children are asleep under my roof. That's enough. The first week is rocky. Emma and Jake are withdrawn, clearly struggling to reconcile what they were told with reality. The court-ordered therapist, Dr. Nina Wallace, starts seeing us 3 times a week. She's patient and kind, working slowly to help them understand. In our second session, she addresses them directly. Emma, Jake, do you know what the word alienation means? They shake their heads. It's when someone tries to turn you against another person by telling you bad things about them. Sometimes those things aren't true. Jake frowns. Like what Mommy said about Daddy? Yes. Your mom told you your dad left because he didn't love you. Was that true? Emma speaks up quietly. The judge said Daddy was trying to see us the whole time. That's right. Your dad sent texts, called, tried to visit. Your mom blocked him. She changed the locks so he couldn't come home. I watch my children process this. It's painful but necessary. Why would Mommy do that? Jake asks. Dr. Wallace chooses her words carefully. Sometimes adults make very bad choices. Your mom was wrong. She hurt your dad, and she hurt you by lying. Emma looks at me. Are you still mad at us for believing her? Oh, sweetheart, you're kids. You believed your mom because that's what kids do. I'm not mad at you at all. The healing is slow, but it's happening. 2 weeks in, Laura has her first supervised visit. I drop Emma and Jake at the visitation center, where a trained monitor will observe their 2-hour visit. Both kids are nervous. Will mommy be mad at us? Emma asks. No, baby. Just be yourselves. I wait in the parking lot, anxious. When I pick them up, they're quiet. How was it? I ask gently. Jake speaks first. Mommy cried a lot. She said she was sorry. That's good. She should be sorry. Emma adds, she said the judge was wrong. That you tricked everyone. My heart sinks. Even supervised, Laura can't help herself. What do you think? I ask carefully. Emma looks at me with those serious 9-year-old eyes. I think the judge saw all the evidence. I think mommy's still lying. The clarity in her voice surprises me. She's figuring it out. That night, I email the visit supervisor to report Laura's comments. She confirms that Laura spent the visit trying to undermine the court's decision. The supervisor's report goes to the judge. Laura's visitation is reduced to 1 hour per week until she completes her required therapy. She texts me furious messages. I forward them to Patrick without responding. Every text she sends just proves the judge was right about her. Meanwhile, Emma and Jake are blossoming. Jake joined his soccer team again. Emma auditioned for a dance recital. They're laughing more, sleeping better. My parents visit often, thrilled to have their grandkids back. Life is slowly becoming normal again. A month after the trial, I receive notice that Laura has been charged with filing false police reports. The prosecutor reviewed the evidence and decided to pursue charges. She's facing potential fines and probation. Her lawyer contacts Patrick about a plea deal. Patrick calls me. They're offering a deal. Laura pleads guilty to filing false reports, pays a fine, gets probation, and the criminal charges don't escalate. In exchange, you agree not to pursue additional civil damages. What do you recommend? Take it. You've already won custody. She's paying your legal fees and the child support she rejected. Dragging this out won't help Emma and Jake heal. This isn't about revenge. It's about moving forward. Accept the deal. Laura pleads guilty the following week. She's fined $5,000 and given 2 years probation. If she violates it, including filing any more false reports, she could face jail time. The news circulates in our community. People who believed her lies now know the truth. Her employer puts her on administrative leave pending an internal review. Ryan, facing the fallout of the scandal, breaks up with her. She's lost everything: her children, her boyfriend, her reputation, her credibility. I should feel triumphant. Instead, I just feel sad. Sad for what could have been if she'd made different choices. Sad for Emma and Jake, who lost the mother they thought they knew. But mostly, I'm grateful. Grateful for Patrick's expertise. Grateful for the judge's wisdom. Grateful for the truth finally being heard. 3 months post-trial, Emma and Jake are thriving. Dr. Wallace reports significant progress. They've stopped parroting Laura's lies and are forming their own understanding of what happened. Emma even writes me a letter one night. She leaves it on my pillow. Dear Daddy, I'm sorry I believed Mommy when she said you left us. Dr. Wallace says it's not my fault, but I still feel bad. You were fighting for us the whole time and I didn't know. I love you. Thank you for not giving up. I cry reading it. Show it to my mom over the phone, and she cries too. Jake is less verbal but shows his feelings differently. He asks me to coach his soccer team again. Wants me at every practice, every game. You won't miss any, right, Daddy? He asks constantly. Not a single one, buddy. Promise. Laura's supervised visits continue, but she's slowly accepting reality. Her therapist's reports show progress. She's starting to acknowledge her actions were wrong. In one session, the monitor reports that Laura actually apologized to the kids. I'm sorry I said Daddy left you. That wasn't true. I made a big mistake. It's a small step, but it matters. Emma and Jake need to know both their parents can be honest with them. Dr. Wallace recommends slowly reducing supervision as Laura completes her requirements. Eventually, she might graduate to unsupervised visits. I agree with conditions. Therapy continues. No bad-mouthing me to the kids. Any violation, and we're back in court. Patrick drafts the agreement. Laura signs it. 6 months after the trial, I attend Emma's dance recital. She's the lead in her age group, performing a solo she's worked on for months. I sit in the front row, recording on my phone. My parents are beside me, beaming with pride. Emma takes the stage in her costume, and my heart swells. I've missed so much, but I'm here now. She dances beautifully. When she finishes, the audience erupts in applause. She finds me in the crowd and waves. After the show, she runs to me. I lift her up despite her getting too big for it. You were amazing. Did you see my spin? I saw everything. I'm so proud of you. My mom hugs Emma next. Your grandma's going to cry happy tears all night. We go out for ice cream to celebrate. Me, Emma, Jake, and my parents. We're laughing, talking over each other, completely happy. This is what Laura tried to steal. These moments. But she failed. Later that week, Jake's soccer team makes the playoffs. I'm on the sideline coaching, shouting encouragement. Jake scores the winning goal. He runs to me afterward, and I scoop him up. Dad, did you see? I saw. That was incredible. These are the moments that matter. Not courtrooms or lawyers or evidence. Just being present for my kids. Laura attends some events now, standing on the opposite side. We don't talk, but we coexist for the children's sake. It's awkward but civil. That's progress. A year after everything fell apart, I sit in Dr. Wallace's office for our final session. The kids are doing remarkably well, she tells me. Emma and Jake have processed the alienation, they understand what happened, and they're bonding with you again. What about long-term effects? There may be trust issues as they get older. But you're doing everything right. Therapy helped. Your consistency helped. They know you're not going anywhere. She closes her file. I'm recommending we conclude regular therapy. Check-ins every few months should be sufficient. Relief floods through me. We're really past this. That evening, I make the kids' favorite dinner, spaghetti and meatballs. We eat together at the table like we used to. Can we have movie night? Jake asks. Absolutely. What are we watching? Emma picks an animated movie we've seen a dozen times. We pile on the couch with blankets and popcorn. Halfway through, both kids fall asleep against me. I sit there, not wanting to move, just grateful. My phone buzzes quietly. A text from Laura. Thank you for letting me see them today. I know I don't deserve your kindness. It's the first genuine message she's sent in a year. I type back, they need their mom. Just be the mom they deserve. She responds, I'm trying. I really am. Maybe she is. Time will tell. But that's not my burden anymore. My job is loving my kids and helping them heal. Everything else is secondary. Today, Emma and Jake are playing in the backyard. I'm grilling burgers while they kick a soccer ball around. Emma calls out, Dad, can Sophie come over tomorrow? Sure, sweetheart. Jake adds, and can Austin sleep over this weekend? I'll call his mom. Normal. Beautifully, wonderfully normal. My dad arrives with my mom, carrying a cake. Just because, Mom says, kissing my cheek. We eat outside, the sun setting golden over the yard. Emma tells a story from school that makes everyone laugh. Jake demonstrates his latest soccer trick. I look around this table, my kids healthy and happy, my parents supportive, life moving forward. Laura took 6 months from us. 6 months of pain and lies and fear. But she didn't win. I fought for my children and proved the truth. I documented everything, trusted the process, and never gave up. The system worked. Justice was served. Now we're building something better. A home based on honesty and love. A family that communicates and trusts. Emma catches me watching her and smiles. What? Nothing. Just happy. Me too, Dad. Jake climbs into my lap, even though he's getting too big. Are you going to work tomorrow? Yes, but I'll be home by 6. Same as always. Promise. Promise. Because that's what fathers do. They show up. They stay. They fight for their children when the world tries to tear them away. Laura told the kids I abandoned them. But I waited. I gathered evidence. I proved otherwise. And now we're finally home. Together. Where we always belonged.